Collocations. Collocations are relevant to secondary school children and high-level learners only. Collocations are not very common with the primary school children. So teachers should be exercising this activity in the secondary school and at a higher level in the school. So collocations are very close in meaning with the phrases. Phrases also have more than one word which go well with one another, and collocations are also the words which go well with one another. The only difference that one can say is between collocations and phrases is that collocations are words that go well with each other and are commonly used together. For example, there are collocations which are very popular in English language, and of course we have collocations in other languages also. Collocations is not really an item which is discussed in English language, rather it is a part of all languages. The example of very commonly used collocations are get well. So get well is something goes very well together as get well. So usually when people say get well, it has a meaning that people are wishing the other person to get well and become healthy. And also sometimes the advertisements on the boards also use collocations like buy one, free one. That is actually not a correct form of English, but since it's a collocation, it is used together, so they go well with one another, and people learn such collocations very easily, especially when they are coming in advertisements on the TV screen or the signboards on the roads. The students sometimes learn some collocations from those boards as well, and from the advertisements on the TV screen. So collocations basically are words which will go well with one another, which would sort of match well with one another and would be commonly used. In case of phrases, I said, as the phrases are also words that go well with one another, but usually the phrase has a different structure of words together, whereas a collocation has a different structure which can be sometimes similar to a phrase and sometimes can be different from a phrase. So there are many collocations, and the activity for that is that the teacher can divide the class into two groups and then give slips of paper on which the two words from a collocation are separated from one another. So the teacher gives a slip of paper to each of the student with one word of the collocation, and then she gives the second word of the collocation to the second group, and this way they have to look for the right word in order to form the collocation together. For example, if she is giving the word get well in a collocation, and then she gives the word get to one group and she gives well to another group. Now this person who has get on her piece of paper would go and look for the person who has well on the piece of paper, and then together they will form the collocation and stand together. This can also be done with the pieces of chart paper to display the word. So what they can do is the teacher can give the displaying cards to the students with one word of the collocation, and the other group carries the other word of the collocation, and they can just display the cards, and then they can just, without talking, they can just imagine that this word goes with that word as a collocation, and then the student looks for the match and goes and stands with the partner where the collocation is completed.